Sreedhar sir, you can start, sir.
Yeah. Principal sir, shall we proceed, sir?
Yes, we can proceed.
Okay. Sanjeev sir, whether the video is on?
Yes, sir. Video is on, sir.
Yeah. Can you please switch on your video, and also please make sure that the event is recorded.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It started, sir. It started. No need to worry.
Before we proceed, I request all the participants to please mute your mic and also your video, just in case. So very good afternoon and namaste to all the viewers and participants. On behalf of Jain College of Engineering and Institutes of Innovation Council, we welcome all of you to the panel discussion on Aatmanirbhar Bharat, which is also translated as Self-Reliant India. So today we are very happy to have Dr. P.L. Ramkumar sir and Dr. Abhishek Kumar sir as a panel members for this event. And we are also happy to have Dr. Sanjeev Sangami sir from Civil Engineering Department as a moderator along with me. So now I request our principal and director sir and also president of Institute's Innovation Council to please address the online event. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sreedhar.
Yeah.
At the outset, on behalf of Jain College of Engineering and on my personal behalf, I wish to extend a hearty welcome to Professor Dr. Ramkumar, PL, IITRAM, Ahmedabad, and Dr. Abhishek Kumar, PDP University, Gandhinagar, for accepting our invitation and be a panel experts. And I'm very sure this expertise from Professor P.L. Ramkumar and Abhishek Kumar will throw us a light on understanding why Aatmanirbhar Bharat, why it is important, and preamble to self-reliant India, challenges for this initiative, and all that they have mentioned. And I hope this panel will discuss, healthy discussion will happen on Aatmanirbhar Bharat and the role of higher education and industry in campaign. So these are the points that are coming into the picture in this panel discussion. And I wish to extend again on behalf of Institute and on my personal behalf, this thanks to this Professor Ramkumar and Abhishek Kumar. And we wish to see you, sir, in future also. And our innovation institution, innovation council is active, and we need your support in future also. So we anticipate your support. With this, the floor is open to you for the discussion. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for your introductory comments and addressing the event. I would now like to take a couple of minutes to introduce our panel members. So we have with us Dr. Abhishek Kumar sir. He is serving as an assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Pandit Deendayal Energy University, Gandhinagar. He has obtained his PhD degree in the area of manufacturing, especially the non-conventional machining, from BITS Pilani University in the year 2012. His master degree in mechanical engineering in 2003 from BITS Pilani University again, and his bachelor's of engineering from BITS Ranchi in the year 1996. He has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience. His area of research includes electrochemical machining, electrochemical discharge machining, and traveling wire electrochemical discharge machining, and its design and development for engineering application. Dr. Kumar has developed an in-house wire electrochemical spark machining setup. He has also published a number of peer-reviewed research papers in international journals and conference of repute. He has also supervised about 4 PhD scholars, and 2 are ongoing. And under his belt, he has also filed 1 patent. With this, friends, we welcome Dr. Abhishek Kumar as a panel member to the Aatmanirbhar Bharat. Sir, we welcome you, sir, Abhishek, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a nice introduction.
Thank you. We also have with us Dr. P.L. Ramkumar, sir. He is serving as an assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Institute of Infrastructure Technology Research and Management, which is also known as IITRAM, Ahmedabad. He has obtained his PhD degree in rotational molding of manufacturing engineering from BITS Pilani University in the year 2016. Master degree in computer aided design in 2008 from Anna University, and bachelor's of engineering from Madurai Kamaraj University in the year 2003. He has over 15 years of teaching and research experience. His area of research includes rotational molding technology, studies related to linear low density polyethylene and its fracture behavior. Dr. Ramkumar has two patents in the domain of vibration assisted multi-purpose cutter in the year 2017, and the other one fabrication of implant screw required in dental prosthesis using rotational molding mechanism in the year 2021. He has also published a number of peer-reviewed research papers in international journals and conference of repute. He has supervised one research scholar, and he has edited, upon invitation, 3 books in material characterization for CRC Press and Springer Publications. Besides this, Dr. Ramkumar has organized a number of international conferences and workshops related to manufacturing sector at IIT-RAM. Ramkumar sir, we welcome you to the online event. Thank you for accepting our invitation and being here. Now I request Sanjeev Sangami sir to please initiate the proceedings. Sir, over to you, sir. Sanjeev sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I audible, sir? Sreedhar, sir? Sreedhar, sir. Am I audible,
Yes,
sir?
yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, good afternoon to everyone. Today we had very good personalities with us. So today the session we have divided into 3 parts. So the first part 1, that is understanding why Aatmanirbhar Bharat is important, and the preamble to self-reliant India, challenges for that initiative. In the part 2, the approaches towards self-reliant India, vocal for local concept, success stories. In the part 3, role of higher education and industry in campaign, scope and significance of innovation and startups in the process of self-reliance. So first, with the permission of both the panel members, we'll start with the part 1, that is understanding why Aatmanirbhar Bharat is important, preamble to self-reliant India, and challenges for this initiative. First, I'd like to have the conversation with Dr. P.L. Kumar, Ramkumar sir. Please have your views on why understanding of this Aatmanirbhar Bharat is important.
Thank you, Professor Sanjeev, and thank you, Dr. Sreedhar. And I thank, first of all, Jain College of Engineering and Director Professor Abhishek Kumar, and the other panel members and coordinators who are given the opportunity for joining in Aatmanirbhar discussion. So if you come to Aatmanirbhar, the self-reliance is quite important, and it is hot right now as we have, we cannot create employment every time, or we cannot go for employment to knock the door of government asking for employment too. And the main reason for Aatmanirbhar is to take our country outside India. Right? So you have to produce, you have to manufacture so many products where we are lagging in, and it has to be taken to global market. And there are so many challenges as such for running a business or running any startups or starting to be an Aatmanirbhar, if I say to be self-reliant. So the challenges we have, like if you compare with some upcoming countries like Bangladesh or Vietnam, if you see the manufacturing cost, it is quite higher in India if you make a product, because if you see any sector, like if you're using a power, the power is comparatively 3% more costlier in India rather than Vietnam or any other country of equally. You cannot compare everything with the developed countries. Okay, so if you go with even if you compare with China, our power sectors, what we are using is quite costlier. Okay, so the manufacturing cost, since the power cost is more, the manufacturing cost of any product get increased. Right. So similarly, you have challenges in logistics like transportations and other sector, because globally you have to take forward whatever you make, and you have to be competitive with other products. Okay, so compliances cost, that is the cost incurred by employees or the personal cost, etc., is higher compared to some countries where, like developing countries. Okay, so in order to you have to address all these issues, it will not
Yeah.
globally shine.
Right. Yeah, Abhishek sir, would you please share your views, sir, on the how
Yeah, thank you,
important
sir.
is Aatmanirbhar Bharat for
Yeah,
us
thank you,
as on
sir.
today?
Yeah, thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity for speaking about this Aatmanirbhar Bharat. Basically, this is the self-reliant. It has started long back as a Swadeshi movement, means pre-independence movement. Itself, it was told as means it was called as the Swadeshi movement,
Yeah,
and
Swadeshi movement.
during that planning commission also in the first 5 years plan in 1947, and after that also that planning commission, it was the main part as the Swadeshi movement. And this Swadeshi movement has started a long back, and there was a committee, and in that committee, that Swaminathan has already written that self-reliant, or you can say that Purna Swaraj. Purna Swaraj means total freedom, and Swadeshi is our goal. And since that, after that, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken over as the Prime Minister of the country, he has started and he has pushed this Swadeshi movement, or you can say that Purna Swaraj, as the means slogan as the Aatmanirbhar Bharat, and he has means it is make in India and make for India. It and recently and today also there was his speech in the morning about that Aatmanirbhar Bharat, about the digital India. Means he is talking about that now everything is digitalized, and we have to be self-independent in the digital movement also. So with that, this has very much affected our economy in the self-reliant India, and it has cut the dependency on the other countries. In fact, in the developing, or you can say that developing countries where that India was dependent, and also now the India is making you can say the defense component, that recently there was a news that India is exporting his BrahMos missile to Philippines also. So this way that India is moving towards the self-reliant India. So with that, you can add further in that, whatever that Dr. Ramkumar has already mentioned.
So, in addition to
This
this,
is
I also remember that the first time that we came to the awakening of this Atmanirbhar Bharat was the time when we were first struck with the pandemic. That was in the beginning of the year 2020. I remember that during the month of February or March. So that is the time our India was full of tension. The lockdowns were pronounced, and there was so much of disturbance that was going on in the minds of the people, anxiety, the pressure levels, and literally the lockdown that time that we had about 1 month or so, it has made the movement of the goods and services literally to the standstill. You know, in mechanical engineering, we have a subject called as supply chain management, which talks about the movement of goods, right from the raw material all the way up to the client. So that is where I see that in the manufacturing sector in India, they were affected with this because of the lack of input in order to produce the product. So that is a time the economy has started to crash, and that is where the awakening point started. So that is the point I believe that the self-reliant India, the concept has come, which is a vision of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and it's really important that we need to be aware that in order to take the country forward, its economy is one of the important pillar. And
Adding to this, Dr. Abhishek,
Yeah. No, I was just adding that India has already, means it is called as the mixed economy. And during that Lal Bahadur Shastri, when he was the Prime Minister, he has started that green revolution and white revolution for self-sufficient, and in the production of various agriculture products as well as milk and tea. So during that time itself, that green self-reliant means it does not mean we are not we cannot import the thing from the world. We are already connected with the recently that Mrs. Sitaraman was also telling, that our finance minister, that it does not mean that we are out from the world. We are connected to the world, and we can export the things to the world. And during COVID time already, that Sreedhar sir, Dr. Sreedhar has mentioned that COVID time, we were the first to supply some of the important medicine to the entire country. I mean, that entire world, entire globe. And during that time, it has given a way to think about or work in the area of, or you can say that vocal for local. Although we are vocal for local, and the vocal for means that local can be global also. So in that way, it is required to be that India should be in the self-reliant, or you can say that self-sufficient India. So this is adding to that my point of view.
I also see that that our government has identified 5 important pillars in order to promote this self-reliant India. So those are economy, infrastructure, system, demography, and demand. So I would like to ask the views of Dr. P.L. Ramkumar. How important is this infrastructure, system, and demography in order to make the self-reliant India successful?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, adding to Dr. Sridhar's point and Dr. Abhishek, during the COVID time, it was a challenge for the country to get into any sector, let it be infrastructure or any other sector. The main problem was the fund that has been raised by the government was concentrated on only one sector. That is like because of COVID, it has been concentrated on people to make them comfortable. So what happened is even if you see within these 2 years, the fund that has been diverted towards research was 2% less than what we used to. What the government used to contribute for research. For example, 0.5. Normally, it used to be around 0.8% of GDP, total GDP of the country is contributed to research and development activities, and including startups and other things. But rather, this because of this COVID situation, it has been winnowed down to 0.6%. And but still we have to think of startups and that is why many private contributions are invited. Okay, so they have been initiated. They have been told to fund a lot. And nowadays, if you have a valuable startup ideas, and even good companies used to fund easily, and they used to take up the things further. Okay, so anyway, it is like you go with them, and then it is a win-win situation. They get the product out, and you get the patented ideas, and you can work with them. So it is the and government also supports in any sector, like government also have a performance linked system, okay, for new startups, new systems.
Yeah.
For first few years, the fund will be raised by the government, and you can show the performance, something like that.
So the first package, that was pronounced by our Prime Minister was in the year 2020 in the month of May. So during that speech, he has announced about 20 lakh crore rupees as a support to the country in pandemic times. Now my question is, this 20 lakh crore is not a small amount, is a very big amount. And how confident is our Prime Minister that our India, our country is going to use this in a very fruitful manner so that they can come up with the innovations and also boost the economy. So what are your views, Dr. Abhishek Kumar, sir, in this regard?
Yeah. Thank you. This was labeled as Aatmanirbhar Bharat 2.0 and 3.0. That package was labeled. And during that MSME has boosted the scope of private participation in numerous sectors. Like you can say that FDI in the defense sector, and the vision has supported many sectors like solar manufacturing sector, then wind energy, and the growth of India. That personal protective equipment was very limited during that time, and after that package, that growth has started from you can say that after May 2020 to 4,50,000 pieces per day by the beginning of July 2020 itself, which is a very fine example of self-reliant India. And the PPP industries India has become 10,000 crore industry within the 3 months. And that is the second largest after China. Even it has surpassed the US. The US industry was 1.3 billion. And in July 2020 itself, the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, he has already issued the statement about the ambit of Aatmanirbhar Bharat. And in August 2020, we have seen the migrant crisis during the pandemic, and the same ministry, like Consumer Affairs, Food and the Public Distribution, has done many things in the welfare of the migrant under this package itself, like which is labeled as the Aatmanirbhar Bharat 2.0 and the 3.0. And the other initiative by the government has also, like they have devised that new education policy. They have you can say that other like Education Ministry of India has also stressed linkage between the educationalist and the Aatmanirbhar Bharat. So this way, that package has already helped India in many fronts. Many different kinds. So this is my
adding to Dr. Abhishek. Actually, the government is supporting for this Aatmanirbhar. Like if you have, if you go in the scheme of Aatmanirbhar, and if you're raising a startup, then first 3 years you are exempted from taxes, and you'll have self certification. So first 3 years, government will not ask for what remuneration you have got out of that business. After 3 years, you have to show the performance, and that performance will be assessed. And based on the performance, you will be supported by the government till 10 years, till you will become self-sufficient.
Very attractive promotion actually.
Yeah.
My another point is, how important are the young people in our country in order to achieve the success of Aatmanirbhar Bharat? Abhishek sir, would you please comment on this?
Yeah,
The
here
role of young people.
you can see that the Ordnance Factory Board has already pushed that about the you can say that the Aatmanirbhar Bharat means that self-reliant at least in the defense sector, and the result of that you have seen that we have got the order means it is called as the Indigenous Design, Develop and Manufacture IDDM. Reform of Ordnance Factory Board. It has already occurred, and target to now they are targeting to self-reliant in the fertilizer production also. By 2023, it should be the India should be self-sufficient in the fertilizer sector. And already means it was mentioned that vocal for local, and it has already materialized, and the different phases already that's Dr. Ramkumar has already shared. In the different phases you can apply, and the youth, those who are applying, you have seen that many startups are coming up, and now you can see in TV also there is a program called Shark Tank, and many startups are pitching for their means their stake, so that they will get the money and they can start the business. So this has happened due to the initiative taken by the government about the Aatmanirbhar Bharat. So this is
My another point is how about the challenges towards this Atmanirbhar Abhiyan? I don't know, because now the COVID, that virus, it is taking a new forms, and we have these waves one after the other. So I don't know, in future there may be another lockdown may be pronounced. Will it have any impact again on our economy? What could be the challenges?
You can say in July 2020 itself, the government has launched that Aatmanirbhar Bharat App Innovation Challenge to encourage app building. And in that building, around 7,000 entries were received. And in that, 24 or 25 apps were chosen as the winner, and which includes the mapping app, face checking app, cricket game, different apps they started producing. So the challenge which you are talking about is now many startups are there, and they have to prove in the market, because already it is vocal for local. It does not mean that we do not have to go global, although the market is global right now also, but the local things we means that country made things will be preferred. And in that case, the challenges for the youth is that he has to stand for the local for global, along with the local for vocal for local, along with the global people. It does not mean that we are out from the global market. We are in the global market, but we have to promote the local variety to that to the global market, so that the youth can stand in that market itself. So that is the major challenges.
Yeah, very well said, Abhishek sir. My another point at this point, this one is the challenges which are been coming up one after the other in terms of employment also. And since there is a huge package being pronounced by the government, are there any chances of misusing these packages because of the evil for making money, these kind of things? How it is going to affect the Indian economy?
No, actually, to be frank, the government is supporting reliably with every state. Right, they have a schemes to every states to encourage the new startups with the young people. Okay, so what they do is they have some procedure. They get proposals out of it, and then they get to assess that proposal, and then they fund. Like you have even in Gujarat, we have a certain setup, and even Federation of Industries and Information Sources, we have that association which funds many of the startups here. Okay, so so they first collect innovative startups ideas which has been proposed, and they detailedly assess that, and then they fund them. And previously they just for a period of 2 or 3 years they assess them also and they support them in many aspects. Okay, so it may be technically or in non-technical way. So they support in registration, even startup registrations as well. And so these type of things they do. But the main challenge is, as Dr. Abhishek has mentioned, the main challenge is to withstand with the competition that we have globally, that I mentioned earlier also, like because the global vocal to be local is okay to some extent, but when
Again, local for global is.
yeah, that
Local
becomes
for local and local for global.
local for global. That becomes a challenge because like you have so many low cost things that is possible with other countries when they make the same products or same ideas when they have.
Yeah, at this point, Ramkumar sir, what is the main difference between this Make in India, which sir spoke about, vocal for local,
Yeah.
and Aatmanirbhar Bharat? Is there any fine line dividing these two things?
No, it's more or less same. Make in India is completely right.
Holistic view.
Yeah,
Maybe it is a holistic view.
holistic view which covers everything. Whereas you just
Atmanirbhar Bharat
yeah, and Make in India is like
is
you
more of manufacturing sector.
manufacturing
Maybe.
sector. And you can import certain things also here. Make in India does not mean you assemble everything you, but more or less Make in India also concentrates on you maximum you try to
Produce the goods
produce or
in-house.
manufacture the goods in house,
Yes,
and then you know the technology as well.
right.
And that's what defense sector mostly go for Make in India nowadays. Dr. Abhishek may add if
Yeah, Abhishek sir, when we focus more on this Make in India, that is vocal for local, and then what could be its impact on the GDP?
Now here one thing, like already I have mentioned, this vocal for local and local for global. So make for world, make
Yes,
for
yes.
world. We are exporting the thing. Like it can be seen, it can be say as the brain drain to brain gain. Like so in that sense, like already that Amul managing director, he has already that now Amul is the global brand. It is not no longer the Indian brand. So means that the product is made competitive to the global brand itself, and it does not mean that we only buy the product that has logo made in India. Made in India it can be, but it is made for the globe or local for the globe. So that here you can say with that you can say that like we are making for the world, make for the world, and that way this thing has
Yeah.
already means that
Yeah, yeah. But
like
when
a
we look at GDP, we know that GDP has many parts into going into it. So one is the consumption itself, the other one is expenditure part into it, then services point. Then we have these imports and exports. So the more we import, again, that is going to have impact on the GDP.
GDP. Yeah,
It is going to be lowered again, and we are going to be in problem. So I believe that definitely this Make in India concept, that is vocal for local, is going to boost our economy in terms of reducing our dependence on the imports.
other imports. Yeah.
Right. So now moving on to the second part, we have these approaches towards the
Good
self.
afternoon.
So what are some of the key approaches I think that you think, sir, that can help in promoting the this abhiyan?
Already that many approaches are there. Like we can say that like there are some
Excuse
Aatmanirbhar Bharat, like our Prime Minister already. So there are different difficulties and challenge also. Like there are that trade deficit that it does not allow to reduce the dependence on the import and opt instead of increasing. Like it can be the means India should not be isolated. Like initially I mean say a year back it was like boycott China product, but to promote that Aatmanirbhar Bharat, so it is difficult. Like we cannot totally boycott that China product, and that Still that company imports many, means like it was $75 billion goods every year from the China. It is very difficult to like boycott that means the different global product. It does not mean like different organizations are also working, like Swadeshi Jagran Manch is also there, and along with that many you can different organization is working toward that self-reliant India. And already many of the foreign companies, they have been given the contract in the Indian you can say that infrastructure manufacturing or infrastructure project also.
Yeah.
So this way, that Aatmanirbhar Bharat, basically this word that Aatmanirbhar would help to balance between the world and the, or you can say that local and the global. So this way, the different like in the fruits, food grain, rice, vegetable, milk, these all things will be like one of the challenge. Similarly, the another challenge is nutrition and hunger remains a challenge in India itself, although we are talking about that Aatmanirbhar Bharat. So this way, these are the some of the challenge. In that case, the state of the role of state government will also come into picture. That how the state governments are acting in that.
Yeah,
So
Ramkumar
these
sir,
are
would you please share your comments on this?
Yeah, if you see for an opportunity for this Atmanirbhar or self-reliant India, or to be successful or to make a startup, there are so many opportunities, but the opportunities have been scattered, and it depends upon the sector that you are working on, and it
And
depends
the
upon
end utility also, demand
utility.
wise.
Yeah, sure. Utility also, and
Yeah,
where,
I may have one very good fancy idea,
yeah,
but it has to be realized.
yeah,
And at the other side also, there should be demand should be existing.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Ultimately,
the product may not be viable, or it may not generate the turnover.
that's true. Actually, altogether, how can a thing, how can an idea can be commercialized? That is quite important.
Commercialized, right?
Okay, so any idea needs to be commercialized, then only it can make a profit, and how much long it may take, and how much fund it may absorb, and these are the two things. And this opportunity can be divided. If you see, well equipped companies can also start a new firm, new startup, or a new product startup, for which government basically supports them, because it's already it's a well established companies. But when you go for a startup, for a smaller young people or like a student, if you say, state governments have different schemes through which you can just try to start initially putting your ideas, but then competitively you have to show the outcome as early as possible to commercialize your product, and to register as a private concern. And then once it is registered, then you may have the other benefits. You may get the other benefits, which you can get it from yeah, government system.
Yeah.
Okay, like bank loans or any other systems can be easily obtained. That is
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Coming to the case studies, which are typically, no, people are getting abided with the Abhiyan, whatever we are discussing about. Recently, we had one case in our town. His name is Niranjan. He was the first person to design and develop one of the cheapest water filter in the whole world. Without GST, it was costing only 20 rupees. So it became so successful. Now he is able to generate employment. He has his own small startup company. He is very young and dynamic. So I see, there is a huge potential for the students who are with us, and maybe a small idea can really spark the enthusiasm, and they kind of support, if they need, they really flourish, and it is going to help us towards the sustainability of this Atmanirbhar Bharat. So this is what is one of the success I have seen recently, some 2 years ago, in our town. So like that, I also believe that in India that there are so many sectors people are working on. Defense is one of the important sector for India because we understand that even a small equipment, it costs lakhs and crores of rupees. So how is this innovation can really help us to minimize the expenditure from our side, and we can have our own indigenous components. Abhishek sir, would you please comment on this?
Yeah, here you can see like many of the Indian companies, they are, or you can say that youngster, they are pitching into that self-reliant India, or they are making the things with the so cheap so that it can be affordable to that. You can say that local people or the means that area people, local area people, and sometime it will be that customized design also according to the need for that people. That many of the youngster here also, in our institute, one of the student has developed a stick so that blind people can walk easily without any hindrance. It will beep if there is you can say that any hindrance or any restrictions comes to that near to that stick, and the people can walk. And he has already pitched for that government fund, and government has already given a grant to that. So here you can say that local government is also supporting that Aatmanirbhar Bharat, and they are initially they are giving practical, or you can say that making the idea to work upon, and the peoples are also taking many of the youngsters are taking part in that. So with that, now people are like government of India has already started that Swabhasa, means that in the Indian language, that different courses, or in the new education policy, the government or you can say that Ministry of Education already it has started. So people are so that local whatever that local talent or the local people can understand the thing, and he can make the thing so that it can work for the local area people. Like one person, one of the girls student, he has made a chair so that that handicap can walk over the staircase also. It can go up and with the chair, and with that it can go down on the
Yeah.
stair. So
Yeah,
these are
I,
some of
I
the
also
small ideas.
I also believe that the new education policy, whatever now it has been implementing across India, is going to definitely help the young people coming up. It is more towards the practical side and less on theoretical side. I believe that this kind of initiative, from government, right at the basic education levels, can all the way it can help in changing the mindset of the people. Rather than depending on something, they can evolve with the ideas, and then I see that there is a huge opportunity, in terms of coming up with innovations. Maybe it may be a regular work in our day-to-day life, but the way to see at it, it may be altogether different. That can be a starting point.
Yeah.
And I also recall one of the news that our country imports huge amount of technology, from abroad, especially for the defense area. And our India, our country, has started their own in-house developed the aircrafts, especially the fighter planes. Tejas is one of the in-house developed fighter plane. I still see that there are some components which we are still not able to produce them in our country. Still, we are able to import from outside. So still we see some amount of gap. That the 40% of gap where we are not fully being able to make the things on our own inside our country. So how
Yeah,
can this be affecting our Atmanirbhar the vision that we have?
no, actually, the technological gap, little bit that we have, is been bridged with the help of government support. Okay, so we are lagging as Dr. Sreedhar has told. We are lagging in certain knowledge of technology, latest technologies, which we are building with the knowledge, with the government support. We are getting the information, and the people are trained basically, and then it is a way step towards Atmanirbhar actually. Okay, so once you get, even in infrastructure development, if you see building of metro trains, etc., we are a little away from the technologies. We get a help from other countries, developed countries, but then we are going towards learning the technologies, and we are a little bit towards the Atmanirbhar in all the sectors mostly. If you see the success stories, mostly the government encourages young entrepreneurs. Okay, so here, if you see an example, we have a student called Tarun Rijwani, and he has built in-house 3D printing machines which can print hybrid, which can work with hybrid printing of metals and composites and polymer systems. So he is having his own venture, private venture now, and government has supported, and he is now supplying to many colleges the 3D printing machines as well. So if you have a solid idea with you, and if you can realize that into a mainstream company, then that is highly encouraged. But you will have a little bit of challenges, but you have to overcome that. That's only thing.
Sanjeev sir,
Hello, sir.
so we would like to now go towards the part 3. So where we have things to discuss in terms of role of higher education and industry during this initiative. So do you please add something towards this?
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, of course, the part 3, what we are covering now, sir, it is very much important because nowadays the government of India has taken a lot of initiatives for this innovations and developments, like establishing IIC, that
Exactly.
is Institutions Innovation Council Cell. And morning only we had one session. I want to highlight that some of the schemes that have very important as present scenario, like we have Smart India Hackathon is there. We have Kapila, that government of India is giving a funding for the patent filing so that you can start up later. And along with that, we have called MIC, that is Minister of Innovation Council Cell is there. So in spite of that, I'm feeling that somewhere some gap is there. Are we satisfying the expectations of the government of India is what targeting? That is my question, sir.
Yeah. What I see, basically, the kind of mindset that we had all these years, So it is something that some professor wants to build his career in one direction. But if it is not in line with the interest of the country, then it may not really be useful at the implementation point of view. So now so there's a shift which I have been observed, that people are now working on the projects, and there are a number of patents being increased where things are of nation's interest rather than the personal interest. The shift has now been changed. So I believe that these kind of initiatives or mindset change can really help in the higher education level. So we have at engineering level, at master's level, some people are taking up the research level for their PhD degree. If they are converted into some of the problems which we as citizens are facing, I believe that this can really be a good platform for the young minds, to really excel in their career. So Abhishek sir, what is your view towards this, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Here you can see, like already that country has. I was mentioning about that country has already created a vaccine for global, or you can say that co-vaccine. It was the symbol of Aatmanirbhar Bharat, and that vaccine is supplied to many of the countries. So you can see here that many of the young peoples or young researchers are also working in that area. lakhs of peoples are sorry, that many of the peoples are or young peoples are working so that it can help the global people also. In that scenario, that our Prime Minister has already announced that new education policy. You can take your interest any further, although you are in like while studying, if you have developed interest in medicine or any of the different domain of the current institution, you can enroll and you can contribute in that area also. So this way, this our new education policy or is creating the platform for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So that,
Adding to actually, the higher education is a key for this Atmanirbhar. That government is seeing this educational system or higher education and research as a key for this, because if you see nowadays, many of the universities have center of excellence that has been made with the help of government of India, and you have so many collaborations. Like you have even IITRAM has a defense corridor. Okay, so the actual defense system, defense people, defense who work in defense sector take classes, or they initiate the interest towards the students and what they require. It's a mutual bridge between these two, because young minds can only have many ideas. So the people, we structure as a course and we call defense people, and then we tell them to interact with the students as a course. And many interdisciplinary courses are encouraged in terms of minors. Okay, so it may be in aero systems, aeronautics, or aeronautic control systems. So we have these type of minors also. So that encourages people to lenient to make themselves lenient towards a particular area and about their interest also. Along other than what graduation, these are the steps that the government has taken. Okay, so you see, it depends. It has been divided. So every state government has its own vision. So they concentrate on these type of areas, interdisciplinary courses you have, and then higher education. Even in MS or MTech, you have research oriented subjects in new areas. Okay, and you have corridors. You make different corridors. Even you have railway corridors nowadays in universities.
Yeah.
So, and dedicatedly, we have a university for railway infrastructure.
Sir,
Yeah.
along with this, sir, one more thing is very important thing is that, sir, um, higher education and industry. I found that there is a lot of gap is there. Huh? See, whatever we produce or whatever the students do the projects, uh, whether can we able to reach to the industry somewhere? Some I found that some gap is there. How to rectify this, sir?
See,
Abhishek, sir.
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. So this thing, we have already in.
Should we go ahead by hiring some of the industry people into our academia? Can that help to bridge
That
this gap?
is, yeah, certainly. That is also one of the point. Instead that, like students that they used to do some of the projects, part of the project, or sometime major part of the project in the industry itself, so that they will be able to learn that what is the industry requirement. And in that case, in that sense, that already it has means here in our institute, we are already advertising or telling the student that there should be some tie-up in your project with the industry, so that they will be exposed to that industry, and industry also learn about that what is the academic requirement in that, and how the academia also, we also learn that what is the industry requirement and how the student can work in in that direction. So it is a win-win situation for both of us, and well, for academy as well as for that industry. And in fact, to develop, that we can that academy, the industry used to fund the academia also for certain project. Like we have this type of problem, and if you can solve, this is the amount or whatever that project budget is there that we are funding. So with that, some of the students will be involved in that type of project, and that way that gap is already started declining, that gap. And
So
now,
my another point, Abhishek sir,
yeah,
at our place, at sixth semester level, they have some mini project, the students,
yeah,
and at the final year level, at seventh semester, eighth semester, again they have a major project taking place, and in between that they are supposed to take up some internships. So the role of industry towards this Aatmanirbhar Abhiyan, so industry can really open up their doors in order to encourage the young minds, maybe in terms of offering them the internships. I believe that can really help them, motivate them, that before they land up with the job, that they can grab some of the culture right at the training level itself. Thereby we can see that the investment can be reduced, and it can boost the enthusiasm of the students. It can motivate the students, and I
no,
believe that can help really in playing an important role towards the self-reliant.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
I can continue.
Yeah, I think already we have certain systems who work towards this. Like if you see FICCA, Federation of Industries Commerce in India, that works closely with the academia as well as industry. So that is an association. Normally we have members from academia as well and industry as well. So that bridges the gap between these two. So normally some students, if they have some concern, if they wanted to do project, or if there is a problem with industry, they do have some genuine problem that can be solved with the help of a student. So they interact with each other, and they used to solve that problem. And industry also helps them or observes them for the job as well, if probably they are capable as well. So this FICCA is already doing this job, and they have started, and that is an initiative of government as well. Okay. So they have in every academic institution, from every academic institution, they have two representative faculty members who closely work with FICCA, and they take the students to that association, and they make them interact with them, and then they get the project, and that initiates the gap. But really, academic the requirement of industry has to be still acquired more. What they need and whether we have in the educational system or not has to be investigated, and we have to be more towards industry oriented courses. We have to create more courses that will help the students to get easily accustomed with the industry.
Coming to the significance of innovation, for the young students, those who are at the final year or pre-final year, so when we have to introduce them the concept of innovation, a student may look at a different perspective. So innovation need not be something very big. It may be a small idea, which can be viable, commercially viable. So because when you look at our country as a whole, still there are 30% of our people, those who don't have connectivity towards the electricity. So like that, the basic needs, when we walk towards the villages and all, we can still see, there are no proper amenities. So the ideas or the scope for innovation, especially when we look at the rural areas, I see the opportunity is huge. But the student who is now at the beginning of his career, how he is supposed to look at innovation? So could you please add on this, Abhishek sir?
Yeah, thank you. Here you can say that this point already being pointed out by Niti Aayog long back, and he was talking about the self-reliant for that you can say that unprivileged people, self-reliant unprivileged people. So in that sense, that young mind, they have taken up many initiative, or they have taken many initiative in the village or in the remote areas of the country. So so that people, whatever that locally grown things are there, that can be given to them, and that can be, you can say that many mastermind, even the students or the college students or university graduates, they are working in the social welfare or the social, they are doing that social internship also nowadays. So this is a provision in the new education policy. They can do that civic and social internship, and in that case, in that sense, they can help the local people and the local product. The remote people can access to that local product, and they can be self-reliant in that area itself. So this is my point of view.
Yeah, Sanjeev sir, would you like to add towards this? How important is innovation, and how the student is supposed to look at it?
Yeah, I found that, sir, it has to even it has to start from the um, from one first standard itself, because many what I found is that uh, uh, the concept of innovation, it has to start from the first standard, and it has to carry over, sir. But as an higher education institutions are considered, of course, as the statistics of India is considered now, um, um, like previously I addressed that we have the Institution Innovation Council Cell, and the Kapila, and the IPR cells. So with these are there, but um, still I found that we can say morning only, afternoon we had one session regarding the um, hmm, how India, or how higher education institutions are best in patenting and all those things. We found that that resource person has mentioned that the India is in sixth position as the IPR is considered. Slowly, we are reaching towards the first place, but it takes its own time. And also today, the statistics of this registrations of IIC councils are considered. Almost 40 to 50% of the higher education institutions are registered in this IIC and Kapila. It is a good move for the India is considered. As the student point of view is considered, we have to create a lot of awareness among the students. That is one thing. Along with the study, this component we have to add it.
Right.
That
The
is
other
my
thing, I believe
yes,
the
sir.
other thing that has to be emphasized
Yes.
from the student point of view, that
Mm.
the innovation need not be something very big.
No, 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 no.
Maybe
It's not.
very
Yes,
small
yes, sir.
thing,
Any idea, sir?
meeting
Any
the need.
small idea?
Yeah, it should be meeting the need
Yes, yes, yes,
and
sir.
making the life easy for the end user.
Yes, 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 sir.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
What I
Yeah.
found is that, sir, ideas are there, but how to make it in a product form?
Okay, commercialization.
That gap has to be identified,
Okay.
and we have to help the students to reaching that level. Even
How about organizing some showcasing the products at the end of the academic year by the
yes,
students?
yes, yes, sir. Project presentations or poster
Presentation,
presentations. Yes,
analysis.
yes, yes, yes,
Maybe
yes, sir.
the third, some expert in the domain can be called,
Yes, 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 sir.
so we can go through, review the products, and
Yes,
he
sir.
can point out
We
some
have, sir.
gaps.
We have very good. This is KSCST cell is there in our Karnataka.
Right.
Uh, yes, yes, sir. So funding the projects, small projects. It's already started there, and we need to create some awareness among the students. That gap we have to fill, sir. What I found.
It's very nice that so far we have been looking at the number of points related to Aatmanirbhar Abhiyan. Sanjeev sir, we shall now open the forum, sir, towards the students.
Yes, 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 sir. Sir, along with this, I have one doubt itself, sir, to the resource
Yeah,
persons.
yeah. Please raise the point, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Abhishek sir has pointed out that foreign direct investment in defense sector, is it the safe for India as the national security is considered, sir?
It is not like that. This is like
My crazy question, sir. Of course,
yeah, yeah.
well, many precautions will be taken by signing and all those things, but still I have
Finally, the green button is there.
No, that depends upon that how the policy is implemented.
Yes,
Already you
yes,
pointed
yes,
out.
yes, 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 sir. Of
How,
course, we have DRDO and all those things are there. They are making a lot of effort in making and all those things. Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, in case of this foreign investment is like what Dr. Abhishek has told, how it has been implemented and how like technology, how they share the technology.
Yes, 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 yes.
So actually, we can get things, we can get information about the technology, and that is how the policies will be framed. Like later,
Yes,
we
yes,
can we can make our own products, defense systems, and that would be the focus actually.
so as for my view is considered, sir, we have to avoid this kind of, as far as possible, we have to product the Make in India concept in defense sector or Aatmanirbhar Bharat. Yes, sir. Technology has to be.
there.
Yes, yes, sir.
It is already there. That in the defense sector, it has already started. Like we have that
Yes, yes, yes.
given the order of. I mean, we have got the order from that about that BrahMos, and the India will be.
Yes,
selling
yes, yes, sir.
So this way, it has already.
Slowly, we are marching
Yes,
towards.
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Many of the Indian
completing
brands
us.
are now global brands.
Yes, yes, sir.
Like here in Gujarat also, that Amul is now it is a global brand.
Yes, yes, yes.
Although it is made of India, but it is now a global brand. And Amul has come up with a milk which has the self-sustaining life of 45 days. No need to purchase the milk for 45 days without refrigerator anything. So, and the cheap, it is also cheaper also.
The other
This way-
question is, when you say that it has shelf life 45 days, how safe is that milk?
Means they have
Is it
tested.
natural? Is it natural, or is it been filled with the chemicals?
Now, although it will be like you can say that it is processed, all the milks are processed, but since long they were trying, now they have succeeded in making the milk self-sustainable or self-life for 45 days without any refrigerator.
If milk is a question, then in supermarket we find plenty of food packets. There also shelf life is huge. Like,
Self-life. So,
Sanjeev sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
should you open the forum to the students?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. One or two questions are there in chat box, sir. Can you read it, sir? One
Yeah,
student
before
has
we read, I think we will ask the participants to interact
yes.
with the panel.
Yes, 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 sir.
That possibility will try, sir, first. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we thank the panel members for all your views and sharing your knowledge and expertise on this important topic of Aatmanirbhar Bharat. So we now open the forum for the students to interact. So those who would like to ask any questions or discuss any matter, please unmute your mic and then you can go ahead with your point. Students, please respond. Vijay, do you
Thank
have
you,
any
sir.
question?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Speak
Please
little
go
loud.
ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, we are able to hear you, Vijay. Vijay, go ahead.
Yes,
We
sir.
are able to hear you.
Yeah, go ahead, Vijay.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We can
You're
hear
audible.
you. Go ahead, Vijay.
Yes, sir. At that time, you were talking about the globalization of the local products. Yes, sir. At that time, you were talking about globalization of local products.
Right. That is local to global.
Yeah, local to local and local to global.
Yeah, local
Yes.
to world. Right. Yes.
Yes, sir. So there's a town called Chenpatna where toys are made, where wooden toys are made. So China is the leading country in case of toy production.
Correct.
Like they produce the toys at a cheaper cost compared to the Chenpatna toys. So how we can globalize these Chenpatna toys by competing to Chinese market?
It's a very critical question actually, because when you talk about India, we have our own culture. See, India is a mix. It's a democratic country. People are from wide diversity, but still we dwell together with unity. So we have number of people with a different language and culture. So you travel towards Tamil Nadu, the toys there are different. The kids, the culture is different. You walk towards the North India, there the culture is different. Okay, so we have a lot of scope towards innovation, in my knowledge, and that that connecting point that we have to abide with our country, with our culture, and promote one another, support one another. This kind of attitude can really help us. On the other hand, when you talk about the China, China may come with a very fancy toys, maybe very colorful, and may come with many multi-dimensional possibilities, functionings. Definitely, that can be more attractive compared to our Indian-made things, which may be very simple from the wood. But still, when I say that connectivity is very important, that unity towards and promoting one another, supporting one another. So that way, I think that can really help. So Abhishek sir,
Sir,
what's your view on this?
I would like to add a point
Yeah,
regarding the
here,
same thing.
just I'm telling,
These
see, this
Channapatna toys
becomes
or any toys that are produced in Channapatna is famous for toy itself. The town is called as Bombegalanadu, something like that.
Okay.
So the toys they make is very attractive, and but the thing is, it is costly. But in case of Chinese market, they make the product so cheap that instead of quality, we look for the amount cost on that product. So that's what I meant. Like how we can compete, how we can globalize such products which are worth of globalization.
No, actually, that's a challenge. Actually, Vijit, your question is good. Actually, what happens is like you have so many aspects, so many parameters involved in that. That is what I quoted in the beginning itself. Like China, if you are making any product, you have so many parameters. No, you have power, you have people involved in that, and what is the salary, what is the compliance costs, and what is the transportation or logistic cost, we call it as altogether. So these type of cost has to be minimized, and that's the problem India faces a lot. Okay, can compare to other, why China export a lot of these type of toys to in many countries is because they make low cost products, and that is possible because their um, it is like India, they have many people, so manpower is not a problem, and they have low power consumption, as well as power is quite cheaper than India, compared to India. And you can take any other parameter, all these parameters has to be minimized, then only you can go for global business. Okay, and that is a challenge, but you can overcome that. You have to see some solutions, and that's what government is also thinking of now. Okay, when I say Aatmanirbhar and other things that we are discussing, the government is also focusing on solving these type of issues, so that like what you are saying, that can be, any product can be taken globally. Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any more questions from student side?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Shivkumar, please go ahead with your question.
My name is Kumar, sir. I'm from fifth sem mechanical engineering. And my question is, what are the factors that influence to make this startup?
What are the, sorry, can you repeat your question?
Please pardon, Shivkumar.
What are the factors? You have told some ideas about these industries and about the business, but what are the factors that we have to make to influence means that we have to make some startup about the innovation?
Okay. What are the factors which can play a role when a young person wants to get started with a startup? What kind of points he has to consider when he is planning to take up a startup? So this is a question. Panel members can please respond to this.
Yeah, just one thing. This is also a good question. You can say here that first thing that if you take any startup, it should not be non-obvious. Like you cannot have the umbrella with the you can say that torch. So this type of thing you should avoid that if you are going for the startup. And now for the startup, generally you have to connect with the innovation cell of your local area, local institute, and they will support you in that implementing, or you can say that giving the practical shape to your ideas. So idea starts and the implementation starts from there only. So these are the two things, and it is true for that your intellectual property right also. Like even you can copyright your poem also if you feel that it is like it is my own work. You can have that intellectual property right for your even if you have written any poem or any slogan that can be copyrighted also. So, according to that startup, that main thing is it should not be very much obvious. That is the main thing, and you should connect with your local innovation council or innovation cell to give implementation to that your idea. I think you can add something if other people are.
Any more questions from the students? Shubham, you have any question?
Sir, that only sir about the factors that can help the India to become a self-reliant.
Sorry, please repeat your question.
Sir, define the factors that can help the India to become a self-reliant.
मेरा मोबाइल और चाबी अंदर है, तुम फोन करिए, फोन कर
Sanjeev sir, could you please take this point?
Sir, please pardon that question, sir, once more.
Yeah, Shubham, please little loudly.
Factor that can help to India to become a self-reliant.
Yeah, of course. It is as India is considered is developing. It is challenging in the world, and we have to compete with the world, and we have to prepare the product in a such a way that it should sustain in the world. We have the challenges. According to that, we have to act. Some of the factors, as sir has already pointed out, that preparing a product. Before that, one student has asked a question, that is Chan Patana toys, comparing with the China product. Okay, that is one more challenging. So how to make that product more economical? How to sustain it? The marketing itself is one more challenging. That is today's world. Okay, we have to make that also. It is not only creating an idea, what we can call it as a technology transfer level. We have to act, and we have to commercialize it, and it has to reach to the industry as well as to the society. Up to that level, we have to work, and the stages what I pointed out now. In all those stages, we have to act, and we have to plan it properly. So if you see the factors influence in all those stages, we can build a good product. We can build our own startup. So that I can say.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Sanjeev sir. Thank you, Sanjeev
Yes,
sir. I
yes,
hope
yes.
Shubham is satisfied with that
Yes, I
reply.
am satisfied, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Any more questions from students?
Sir, can I ask another one question?
Yeah, Shiv
Yes,
Kumar,
sir,
please
please
go
go
ahead.
We can see China is a big country and
Please louder, please louder, please louder.
Your voice is not
Yeah.
loud enough, Shiv Kumar.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Sir, we can see China is the biggest country and more population comparing to us, sir.
Hmm.
And they are selling the more cheapest and they are exporting more products toward India, sir. But everyone are buying more China products which are not valuable and which are lesser in price. But why can't we make like China products? How they export a cheaper products like that? We can make and we can export in cheap, no, sir. Why we are not making that?
Abhishek sir, can you point out? Can you
Here,
highlight?
this thing, when we are talking about that China product, the main thing comes about that they have you can say that they have reduced the labor cost. So in that
Yes.
case, that product cost is less. So that depends upon that how that labor organization or the labor law is there in that country. We have that minimum wages requirement for our labor. We cannot reduce the labor cost further. So in that case, many of the Chinese things are coming in Indian market. Although there was a slogan that boycott China product, but in that period itself, the China got the order for infrastructure. In fact, that highway deal in that period itself for making, I think, Delhi to Meerut highway, some part is given to Chinese company. So that is the main hurdle with that Indian, you can say that Indian people are having, that how the labor law is there in their country. Like Chinese law, or I may not be aware about the Chinese law, but they are there. The labor cost is the main concern. If we are giving order to any of the Indian company for any of the service or the work, that here the cost will be higher, and the Chinese company, if you are giving the same order, the cost will be much lower, at least 30% lower, due to that labor cost and the other cost associated with that. So that way, we are not able to take up, or any of the countries not able to take up that Chinese thing. So in many of the front that India, even in technology, we are ahead of the China. But these things are making us slightly lesser than the China. So that is, I think, my point of view in that. If you
Yes,
can add
and
something, it will be.
and we can say there are many Chinese companies which produce some other mobiles and other technologies, and which we want to buy that type of products because they are cheaper than us. But is there any like better products? Is there in any India which are not making and which are not self-reliant for countries?
Pardon, I didn't got that. Your
Sir,
connectivity was low.
means they are producing such a cheaper mobiles and they are producing cheaper laptops and they are giving some all we are exporting from China, all from importing from China only because they are lesser than the Indian products. And is there any companies like China where we produce our own mobile phones and our own laptops, which is easier and lesser than the China?
So,
The reason behind that is what China mainly concentrates on reverse engineering also. They make mobile phones, okay, at cheaper rates. Actually, their products used to be like they have a cheaper technological items. If you say the chips, IC chips, etc., and their life of any phones or any product may be limited uh, to the extent which is required, and people because of low cost, and if you take mobile phone as an example that you have told, so normally you go with the mobile phones, the number of years that people use, even a responsible people use, is 4 years, not more than that. But even if you if you go for some other branded mobile phones, it may sustain for a long time, but nobody is interested in that because mobile phone changes its technology. You have so many added items in mobile phones every year. So China, what it does is like they make a mobile phone that will come for 4 years only, and you pay for that. It's a business trick. It's a business aspect, and we buy that, and it goes for 4 years. We are happy. We throw that, and then we purchase new one. But then Yeah, but you have to go with sustainable products. India also do have certain
Yes,
competitors,
sir.
but yeah,
Because from 70 years it is still developing country, sir. But when we see about China, we should also we should also produce like that products because we don't want to sustain, sir. We want now to means we want to develop the country. If you want to develop the country, means we have to sustain very fast. Means if you want to sustain very fast, means then we have to produce like cheaper products and more selling products, and we should more export also, sir.
yeah, we see basically the problem in our country is we have very less entrepreneurs. Okay, Shikumar, that's why we are encouraging more students to come into startups, right? Why? Because we have very less entrepreneurs. We don't take risk. We get a job, we work for it, and that's our normal mindset, right? So we need to change that. Once we have Indian competitors, more Indian competitors, and if they give the product of for the Indian environment, obviously China market will reduce. It's not going to see certain products China dominates. Like if you go for crackers, China crackers are mostly preferred in India, and like mobile phones that you have told. Maybe these type of some items like toys your friend has mentioned, and toys may not be that true. Maybe now, but then these type of products are dominating from China to India. But then we have to think of these sectors, and we have to give some input on that, and then and that like what Dr. Abhishek has told, there are so many parameters on that, like labor cost, you have part cost involved, because they make very less. They have a very cheaper parts they use, and these type of things they have, and because of that it is, and we are moving towards that. It's not like that India is behind. We are moving towards that, and we are closer to China. But normally our contribution, our what do you call, our part of our budget mostly goes towards defense, so we are lagging in certain areas. That's the reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah, Sanjeev sir,
Yes, sir.
should we now wind up the discussion, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, could you please make some concluding remarks on
Yes,
the
yes,
entire discussion, sir? Please.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you, sir. Um, there are some of the highlights of today's sessions. Are Dr. Ramkumar sir started with explaining about the startups, how to start it, and what are the benefits of the startups. Suppose if you are going with any startups, what kind of benefits you will get it? Like um, um, up to 3 years you have no taxes. So after that, that is one important point sir has highlighted. And we have to take care of some of the transportation sector, that also we have to consider regarding these startups, and all those things is considered. uh, Sir has also highlighted some of the NEP, how it can be focused into the startups. So that is one major highlight. And Abhishek sir has highlighted uh, many things like um, Swadeshi, and Purna Swaraj, how it has started. How the planning commission has taken this. Hmm? What is that status? He has highlighted. So make in India concept. So some of the digital India concepts, some of the defense components like BrahMos missile, how that has been, what is the status of that? How it has been developing in India, and some of the green revolution concepts in self-reliance India that sir has pointed out. So vocal to local, and how it has to make it to the global. So some of the case studies sir has highlighted, and some of the Aatmanirbhar Bharat 2.0 and 3.0, and what are its objectives. Sir has enlightened on that. So, and FDI in defense sector, that concept sir has highlighted. Um, and some of the PPP model, sir has highlighted on around 10,000 crores has been invested from last few months back. And finally, I can say that so what we have to focus is that with overall discussions. So of course, it is was as I already said that of course it is a challenging world. So we have to compete with the world. There is no shortcut method. We have to work and we have to give our time for any of the innovations or startups. And what I suggest to our students is that suppose if you have any ideas, okay, bring it to the notice to your faculty members and check what are the stages in technology transfer level, okay, how it can be implemented and how it has to be brought to the industries and how it has to be made to the commercialization. That is also very important, and how it has to be brought to the society. Suppose if you complete this cycle, means it will be a good thing. And so think on this. And in Jain College Engineering, we have IPR cell is there, we have Institution Innovation Council cell is there. If you are planning for any patents, so we have Kapila cell is there. Even the free search engine will be provided by the Karnataka State Science and Technology. They are freely giving us for search of the novelty and all those things. So get benefited all those things. So this is my view, sir. It was very wonderful session, sir. Both of you. I'm very happy that as I'm IIC convener, when I requested Professor Sreedhar Babu sir, he has accepted that, and I thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Please over to Sreedhar Babu sir. Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
So you are muted.
Yes.
Thank you, Sanjeev sir, for your concluding remarks.
Yes.
Through the permission of Sanjeev sir, should I now proceed with vote of thanks, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Please proceed, sir. Please proceed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thank JGI management and principal and director and the president of Institute's Innovation Council, Dr. J. Shivkumar sir, for the support and motivation in conducting this panel discussion. I thank panel members, Dr. Abhishek Kumar sir and Dr. P.L. Ramkumar sir, for sharing your knowledge, thoughts, and expertise with all of us. We cherish, and thank you for your sharing your perspective on this important topic, that is Aatmanirbhar Bharat. I also thank Dr. Sanjeev Sangami sir for chairing this as a moderator. I thank head of the departments of various disciplines, staff members, students who could able to interact with the panel members, raising up very important points and clearing their doubts. I really appreciate students' involvement in this online event. So thank you one and all. Now this is Sreedhar signing out. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you both.